Stop watching right now if you're afraid of the ocean. Seriously, this isn't clickbait. This isn't drama. This is a real warning. Because what you're about to discover will transform every swim, every boat trip, every time you look at the sea, into a waking nightmare. And unlike other channels that exaggerate for views, everything I'm about to show you is scientifically documented. In 12 minutes, you'll understand why our ancestors had a mortal fear of water and why maybe they were right. You'll discover secrets that National Geographic doesn't tell and that Netflix documentaries avoid showing. Have you ever wondered why 95% of the ocean remains unexplored? Why government invests billions in space exploration, but avoid the marine depths? The answer is what you think. It's not technology. It's not cost. It's because down there are still echoes of the most brutal predators our planet has ever known. And what if I told you they were so deadly, they shaped the fear you feel right now, at this exact moment? 250 million years ago, diving into the ocean was a death sentence. Every drop of water around you was a battlefield, where creatures the size of skyscrapers hunted with strategies that would make a serial killer look like an amateur. Meet the Livyatan, 27 meters of pure aquatic terror. To give you an idea, imagine a school bus. Now imagine 3 school buses connected together. This monster could swallow all of them in one gulp. But here's the plot twist that's going to blow your mind. This 27-meter killer ate plankton. That's right. Nature created the aquatic equivalent of a war tank to eat microscopic organisms. It's like Mike Tyson deciding to live exclusively on baby vitamins. But don't be fooled by this apparently harmless diet. When you're 27 meters long with a mouth that can house a 2-bedroom apartment, you don't need to be aggressive to be deadly. One sudden movement, one change of direction, and you be sucked into this filter-feeding monster before you even realize what happened. Death by accident. Prehistoric nature specialty. But if you think lead sickties was scary, you haven't met the true lords of aquatic death yet. 2 creatures, 2 hunting philosophies, 1 epic battle that would define who commanded the oceans and who would die trying. In the blue corner, Megalodon, 18 meters of pure muscle and fury, 7-inch teeth, bite force of 40,000 psi, enough to crush a car like it was a soda can. In the red corner, Livyatan melvillei, the ultimate killer whale, 17 meters of lethal intelligence combined with 14-inch teeth. Not just brute force, but strategy. Now imagine these 2 monsters meeting in the depths of the Miocene Ocean. The battle that happened next was recorded in fossils. And what paleontologists discover will make you rethink everything you know about aquatic predation. Megalodon attacks first, frontal assault, relying on brute force. But Livyatan is smarter. It dodges, counterattacks on the flank. Megalodon turns, but Livyatan has already anticipated. It's like watching a chess game, if the pieces were 60-foot monsters. The final blow? Livyatan uses its superior intelligence. Attacks from below, straight into Megalodon's blind spot. 14-inch teeth pierce vital organs. Result? Megalodon may have won some battles, but Livyatan won the evolutionary war. But if you think giant vertebrates were the worst that prehistoric oceans had to offer, you're dangerously wrong. 500 million years ago, before sharks even existed, something much worse already dominated the seas. Something that combined the agility of a squid with the cruelty of a spider and the appetite of a T-Rex. Anomalocaris, 2 meters of pure nightmare. But it's only 2 meters, you might think. Doesn't sound so scary. You're thinking like modern prey. In Anomalocaris time, the largest animals were the size of a thumb. This 2-meter monster was like an alien assassin in a world of ants. But size wasn't even the worst part. The worst were the claws, 2 frontal appendages functioning like living guillotines. They didn't just capture prey, they dissected them, alive. Recent studies revealed something even more disturbing. Anomalocaris didn't hunt by instinct. It learned, adapted strategies, developed preferences for specific types of prey. In other words, Earth's first serial killer wasn't a mammal. It wasn't even a vertebrate. It was a 500-million year, old invertebrate that turned murder into art. But all these predators, no matter how lethal, face something even worse. Something that killed 96% of all marine life at once. The ocean itself became poisonous. 252 million years ago, during the Permian extinction, Earth's oceans literally turned into acid. The pH dropped so much it dissolved shells, skeletons, anything calcareous. Imagine waking up one day and discovering that seawater had turned into concentrated vinegar. But not just vinegar, boiling vinegar. Ocean temperatures rose 8 degrees Celsius. The few survivors? They didn't survive by being stronger. They survived by pure genetic luck. Random mutations that, by chance, made them resistant to conditions that would kill Superman. And here's the part that will keep you awake at night. These mass extinction events weren't unique. They happened 5 times in Earth's history. And scientists believe we're entering the 6th. Some creatures were so perfectly adapted for survival that they crossed all mass extinctions. And they're still here. Sharks. 400 million years of perfect design for killing. They watched dinosaurs emerge and go extinct. They saw continents move. They saw oceans dry up and fill again. And you know what's the scariest part? They barely changed. Why? Because they were already perfect. Every time you're in the ocean, you're entering the territory of predators that were killing when your ancestors were still single-celled organisms. But sharks aren't the only impossible survivors. Octopuses, jellyfish, horseshoe crabs. Each one carries in their DNA 500 million years of battle-tested survival strategies. When you look at an octopus, you're not looking at a common animal. You're looking at an alien that conquered Earth 500 million years ago and was never dethroned. Now I'm going to tell you something that paleontologists recently discovered. Something that completely changed our understanding of oceanic predation. All these creatures I mentioned, Megalodon, Livyatan, Anomalocaris, all the prehistoric monsters, they were only the surface predators. The true deadly creatures lived in depths we've never explored. 7-mile deep trenches where pressure would crush a nuclear submarine like paper. And the most terrifying discovery of all, some of them might still be there. In 2023, sonar detected movements in abyssal trenches, movements of objects over 100 feet long, movements that don't correspond to any known species. So next time you're at the beach, looking at the infinite ocean, remember, you're not looking at water. You're looking at Earth's largest graveyard, where some of the dead might still be alive. If you made it this far, you've proven something important. You have the mental courage to face truths that 99.7% of people prefer to ignore. You're in the top 0.3% of the world's population in terms of psychological resistance. But this was just the tip of the iceberg. Literally. And I need to tell you something personal. When I started researching for this video, I had nightmares for 3 straight nights. Scientists who work with these fossils report the same thing, because there are terrestrial predators that made T-Rex look like a stuffed animal. There are flying creatures that blocked out the sun when they hunted in packs. And in the next video, I'm going to reveal the most brutal predator that ever walked the earth. Something so disturbing I almost didn't publish it. A creature so lethal it killed more species than all mass extinctions combined. More deadly than volcanoes. More efficient than asteroids. More relentless than pandemics. And the scariest part? You carry this killing machine's DNA in your veins right now. You are a direct descendant of it. And it's still active. Look, I'm going to be straight with you. This channel is exploding. 300% growth in the last month. Major producers have already made contact. Soon, this type of premium content might be restricted to paid subscribers. So if you want to guarantee VIP access to paleontology's most shocking discoveries before it goes paid, smash that like button now. Not tomorrow, not later, now. If you have the courage to discover what killer monster runs in your veins, hit subscribe and ring that bell. Because the next video will be released in only 48 hours and only subscribers will be notified first. And if you know someone brave enough to handle these revelations, and not many are, share this video immediately. But only share it with people you truly consider mentally strong. Because once you discover the truth about your own species, There's no unseeing it. There's no returning to ignorance. And not everyone can handle that.